Hi, I'm Pastor David Frederickson, and as we go into this new year of 2015, there's just something that I wanted to share with you guys. See, for those who know me know that I'm in transition of becoming the student pastor here at Chapel Valley. And those who know me even better know that before I make any decision or go into any situation, I tend to analyze the situation and figure out what's going to work and what's good and what's not going to work and what's bad. And unfortunately, I tend to dwell on what's bad or what's not going to work. And because of that, I tend to perceive a certain outcome that might not necessarily be true. And so as we go into this new year, 2015, the Lord has highlighted a certain phrase for me or a certain word for me that I want to share with you guys. You see, whether it be serious as something as taking this new position as a student pastor, or something not so serious being purchasing things like I've purchased new pieces of technology as a new phone and a new computer. And they may be small decisions, but I'm one to believe that you should pray about everything that you're going to do because the Lord has input. And so as I pray about these decisions that I was making, I would get the same response for every single one. And so I prayed about being the student pastor here, and the Lord said to step into the new and not be afraid of letting go of the old. And I would pray about what to purchase as far as technology went and how it was going to affect my job coming into the future. And He said to step into the new and not be afraid to let go of the old. And so I kind of mined on this, and I was wrestling with the Lord because I thought there was probably more that He wanted to say to me. And so I found in Isaiah 43:18 through 19, it says this: "Remember not the former things, nor consider the things of old. Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it? I will make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert." And so what I want to actually pull from that is we can look back on how the Lord would actually interact with people, and when He promised things to people that were coming in the future, He always laid it out in the sense that there was actually always promise and hope. Another famous scripture that actually always comes up when we talk about things like this is Jeremiah 29:11, and it's very known for that reason. It says this: "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope." And so when we see the plans that the Lord lays out for us in the future, we always know that they're going to be filled with hope, and they always are for welfare and not for evil. And so as we look at this, and the more and more we focus on just stepping into the new and not be afraid of letting go of the old, we tend to perceive that we can just do whatever the Lord's asking us without question, and our decisions can become a little reckless. And the Lord's not actually asking us to be reckless in our decision making. Proverbs 4:25 through 27 says this: "Let your eyes look directly forward and your gaze be straight before you. Ponder the path of your feet. Then all your ways will be sure. Do not swerve to the right or to the left. Turn your foot away from evil." And so the main part of that scripture I want to focus on is that we are to ponder on the path that we are about to walk down. And to actually ponder on something requires us to put in some effort and some thought into things. See, the Lord asks us to ponder the things that He has laid out before us, not because they're going to necessarily be the right or wrong thing for us to take part in. They're always going to be the correct decision. But the reason that we are asked to ponder on decision making from the Lord is because it's going to require us to sacrifice oftentimes. And so if we just go into everything stepping into the new and not being afraid of letting go of the old, we may go into a situation the Lord has asked us, and we will be asked to sacrifice certain things. And we'll begin to feel betrayed from the Lord or misled, and going into something not knowing the terms or conditions necessarily. And so the Lord asks us to step into the new and not be afraid of losing those sacrifices. And so as we go into the 2015 year, I just want to ask, what's the Lord highlighting for you guys? And what's He saying about all these new beginnings for you? And we're going to go into a next portion of this series that really ties into this. But for now, just ponder on what is the Lord asking of you, and what might it require you to sacrifice.